Welcome to the Graybeard Chronicles podcast. Your hosts, Brian Halstead and Kevin Harkins, are two gray-bearded patriots who love God, their family and friends, and their country. The Graybeards are here to inspire, inform, and educate you on a myriad of topics they are passionate about. Brian and Kevin have a strong desire to share this with you to help you live your best life. Sit back and enjoy this amazing podcast as the Graybeards pass along the wisdom of the ages.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Graybeard Chronicles. I'm Brian Halstead.
And I'm Kevin Harkins.
And Kevin, we're here to pass along some wisdom of the ages. What the heck does that mean?
We're not perfect, but we do have gray beards. And that means we've got some significant life experience, some life lessons, and some perspectives that are worthy of passing along.
Well, I think that sums it up nicely. Let's get to it.
Kevin, what's going on, sir? It is not evening.
And you're not in your recording studio.
I am not.
Wow, look at that.
An alternate venue today.
Right.
Yeah, we got to make things happen though.
I'm guessing based on A, what I know, and B, what I see, that you're on the beach. Somewhere beautiful. And unfortunately, as I look into your background, that railing is, there we go. There we go.
I'll lift it up.
That's what I needed.
All right. Yeah, so sorry the railing's blocking that, but it is a beautiful, beautiful scene out here. And yeah, happy to be here.
That was great. I don't know if you noticed it.
To be here talking with you.
Yeah, you too. When you picked up your computer, saw the beautiful American flag flapping in the breeze back there.
I intentionally tried to catch that in the screen here, but it's a little low and it's right over my shoulder. So
okay,
I'll cover it up.
And I'll also point out that I think there's an ever so slight delay. So we should probably before we start talking, let the other one finish because it's a little, we've stepped on each other pre-recording.
All right. Fair enough.
Fair enough. Yeah.
All right.
Well,
So what are we talking about today?
Other
than this beautiful venue.
I don't remember where I came across it, but I came across it somewhere recently. And it's this concept that I have totally, completely bought into. And it's just simply this idea that is consistent with everything that we stand for. And that is resolve to live until you die. Resolve to live until you die. That's it. That's just it's a mentality that I think not enough people have. And I want to just remind people that this is what we need to be doing. This is how we need to live life. And I wanted to bring it up and talk to you about it for a few minutes.
Yeah, I think it's so consistent with many of the things that we've talked about before. And it truly is. It's a mindset thing. Once you decide that that's what you're going to do, right? You're going to live until you die. You're not going to let your quality of life degrade. I understand that there will be some limitations potentially based on illnesses, et cetera. And at the same time, I believe that you can actually still, live that life fully, if you have the right mindset.
Completely agree. Yeah, I completely agree. And I'm going to be looking at my notes over here once in a while, but there are so many people that are just going through the motions every day. And, it's not just old people. It's like normal people that are in the middle of their professions, or even young people that are early in their careers where they just sort of get up and they just sort of go to work or go to school or go somewhere. And they're just kind of going through the motions. I personally know more than one person, but one person in particular who lives by the mantra, life sucks, and then you die.
Imagine their existence. Oh, that's horrible to even think about.
Right. It's horrible to even think about. They grow old. When you're resolving not to live, you grow old, you get out of shape, your relationships get out of shape, your finances get out of shape, your yard gets out of shape. You're not living, you're just sort of existing. And what a crying shame to go through life that way. And I wanted to remind myself and to remind our audience and talk to you about, let's not live that way. Let's don't do that.
No, definitely not. And I've said this before, life's like a motorcycle. You've got one set of controls on there, and you're not a passenger. You're not a passenger in life. Grab that throttle, roll the throttle, and live. Absolutely live. Now, having said that, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with periodically being a passenger on a motorcycle. That doesn't mean that you're not living. It's just work with me here on the metaphor.
I got you.
Yeah.
Actually, I like your motorcycle metaphor. You said it before that whole bunch of things about that metaphor that I like. First of all, I like that, and it applies to this topic as well. You're on the motorcycle, you're riding right now, you got to have complete situational awareness of what's going on. So you have to live in the moment. If you don't live in the moment, then, if you're too far out ahead looking like what's going on half a mile ahead of you, and you miss the stone right in front of you and you hit it, that's, you gotta be in the moment.
I was having this conversation with somebody yesterday. I think it was Lance, my son-in-law, but we saw a couple of three-wheelers, and I know I'm going to cause some three-wheel riders to get pissed off at me here, but that's okay. You'll get over it. If you really need to pump yourself up, get two wheels. But so we saw one of these guys, and the danger, whether we were talking about a Can-Am Spider and a Polaris Slingshot. And I don't know, I'm not 100% sure on the laws relating to either one of those. But my concern is, at least more so with the Polaris Slingshot than the Can-Am Spider, because I think at least in Virginia, there are still some licenses required for operating a three-wheel vehicle like that. But I don't know about the Spider. But my concern is, you see these people sometimes riding these things or driving these things without a helmet. And you said something that prompted me to talk about this is your situational awareness, right? When you are riding a motorcycle, you must believe that everybody else on the road is out to kill you.
Okay.
And I'm not sure that folks that sign on to get one of those creatures, those, things, fully understand the mindset associated with operating a vehicle like that in traffic. Now, if you're one of those people that do, good on you. If you're not, figure it out, because it's dangerous. You have very little protection around you on either one of those, even though it's maybe more than what you have on a traditional two-wheel motorcycle. Still, you will get squashed like a bug when somebody, pulls out in front of you or whatever. It's a mindset thing. Just everybody's out to kill you. Be careful.
So how do you do that? So, all right. I mean, that's one of the ways that you live on a motorcycle, by resolving to live until you die. And you really do, because it probably helps you live. But so the logical follow on is, what are some typical practical steps or advice that we could talk to folks about, living? What does it mean to live, really?
So, we've talked about goal setting. And while I believe that's important, I think the mindfulness thing is really key. Enjoying the moment that you're in. So many people, like you said earlier, just exist. They're just going through the motions. They're passengers in the wagon of life. And they need to get out and start pulling that thing and being involved with the direction that it goes. I think that's key is really focusing on being in the here and now and maximizing the experience.
Yeah, I think actually that is probably the single most important thing is to do exactly that. Here's some other ideas that I wrote down. The thought of: resolve to make a difference, to do your best, to make a contribution. You have a unique value. I mean, God has created every one of us individually unique.
Right.
We have a unique contribution that each one of us gets to make to the world. Nobody else is like you. So decide that you're going to make it. Focus in the moment completely. Resolve to get better. Decide to invest in yourself. How do you get better at work? Can you volunteer for that project? Can you ask to get some professional development that will improve your, and all of this stuff takes a little bit of discipline, right? When you say live in the moment, that's not necessarily an easy thing to do, because your mind is racing and you're all over the place and you're worried about the past and you're all stressed out and you're, oh my God. And then you're worried about the future because things might not turn out the way you want to have the discipline to sort of block all that stuff out,
right,
and just stay right where you're at. And it's not just discipline in that mentality, but it's Well, let's say that you resolve to live by taking care of yourself physically. This is always such an easy example to come back to because everybody can relate to it. But, you know, you remember, I think we even did a podcast on this. Through discipline comes freedom, right? And so you discipline yourself to read some books, take some courses, volunteer for the assignments, eat healthy, work out. And if you stay in shape physically, guess what? You have the freedom to move and go and enjoy your vacation and, you know, just be able to physically enjoy where you're at and what you're doing. And if you don't have the discipline to do that, you're not living because you don't want to get up. You don't want to walk. You can't walk because you're uncomfortable and your knees hurt. And again, I'm not saying that as you get older, especially, things don't happen, but you can make the decision to pour your heart and soul into not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, personal development, relationships. How many people just let their relationships, long-term relationships that people are in, friends, spouses, whatever, they just kind of take it for granted and they go for it. No, resolve to live. How can you help that person grow? And what do you get in return, right? For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So if you put love and effort and energy towards something, guess what? All that's coming back at you. You know, that's that equal and opposite reaction that's going on. So
yeah, that's a beautiful thing to call out all of that stuff, because it really is. But it starts right here, right? This is it. This is the magic. This is the control center, and what's going on in here is going to dictate what's happening and manifesting in a physical form in your life.
Yeah.
You got to master this. You got to make sure that you're putting good stuff in there, not garbage, and making an effort, like you said, to develop yourself. You know, learn things.
Yeah, read good books. Learn a new hobby. You know, maybe you've, I don't know, who knows. Here is a whole example for me. I said to myself always, I want to learn how to play the guitar very well. And I actually started 40 years ago, started trying to play the guitar. And then I just sort of let it go. I didn't commit to it. I didn't stick with it. Haven't really touched the guitar since. But you know what? I still can. And I think I probably will. I'm going to pick it up and just start. I mean, am I going to become the next, rock band guitar star of the world? No. But can I enjoy playing some music and
why not
singing some songs? Yeah, you're right. There you go. Okay, that's a great comeback. Thank you for saying that.
I mean, the answer is because you don't think so.
Right.
But you know, it wouldn't necessarily, or it might be something that is desirable for all audiences. But you can find a niche for everything that you do, and find a crowd that is going to be interested in it.
That is a great point. Actually, that is a great point. And that I'm so glad you said that, because you're right. There's a tribe out there that will be attracted to what you do. And thank you for saying that. I think that was great for people to hear.
Yeah. How many people are on this planet? A gazillion.
Right.
I mean, and the internet makes the connectivity endless.
That's right.
Man, good stuff.
Yeah. I had a thought that I'm going to see if I can get it back by looking over here. Oh yeah, bucket list. So that's another thing. I love the idea of a bucket list, and I have started my own. There are things I want to accomplish. That's resolving to live until you die. I'm going to start, and especially for those who are kind of at our age in life, where
Right.
we're probably not going to be around for another 100 years, short of some medical miracle.
Right.
So you're starting to realize, okay, the end, it's out there. You can start to see it. Well, what do I want to do? What do I want to accomplish? What do I want to participate in? What do I want to see?
Yep.
Put it on the bucket list and then start doing it. That's resolving to live until you die.
Yes. And for those that haven't made the connection yet, a bucket list is goal setting.
Right.
Now, you might not be breaking it down to all the necessary details, or you could be. You should be. The action steps are going to get you there. But that's really what a bucket list is. It's a list of goals.
I'm gonna totally get this wrong, but I'm gonna share one example for me that I want to do. I have for years wanted to transit the entire ICW, the Intercoastal Waterway, from, I think it's all the way, it starts in Maine actually, and it goes all the way down to Florida.
Okay.
And I just wanted to get in either my boat, my own boat, or rent a boat and just take my time and transit all the way down the ice. I just think that would be the coolest trip. But then I found out recently that there's another trip, even bigger and better and more fancy, called, I think it's called the Big Circle or the Great Circle. But you can actually start in the Great Lakes and come down the Ohio River and the Mississippi River and come out into the Gulf and go along the bottom and then go up all the ICW on the East Coast. And I think it's maybe up the Hudson and through the Erie Canal back to the Great Lakes. So it's this big, massive, awesome, and you're like circumnavigating half of America. That's it. I'm doing this.
So, hey, when you starting?
Yeah.
What's the date?
I'm doing this. Totally. Oh my goodness. Wouldn't that be a blast? Just
Yes, I do.
yeah. So it's on my bucket list. I'm gonna do it.
By when? What's the date?
I actually wrote down that I was gonna do it before I'm 70.
Oh,
But
TikTok, buddy, TikTok.
I know. It's time to get going.
What will that be? Podcast episode number 3000.
That's okay. That's okay.
No, it'll be more than that. That's cool.
So here is a very positive benefit of resolving to live, and that is you're just going to be more satisfied. You're going to be more happy. You're going to live a life that is much more satisfying for you personally if you do that. And there are so many people, and I wish I could just go over to, there are people that I know, I want to walk into their living room where they're sitting in their easy chairs and I want to shake them. Yes, or smack them. Yeah. And say, come on.
Up. Life is going on without you.
Life is going on without you, and go out there and do some stuff and resolve to live. And, who knows exactly what is, after we cross the threshold and we die this physical death on earth, what comes next. But I'm very interested in doing all I can while I'm here before I get there.
Yeah.
And there you go.
Yeah, and when you do all that, not only do you benefit from it, everybody that's around you benefits from it. You're just happier and better to be around. And your mindset, your attitude, it's infectious. You'll cause other people to take a step back and say, what is going on with this guy or this gal? They're killing it, and they're having a fun time doing it. And how do I get some of that magic?
Yeah, there you go. That's perfectly stated. That is exactly right. And who doesn't want? I mean, you're a parent, and if I asked you, what is the single most important thing for you to think about when it comes to your children? What do you want for your children?
So for me, I think the immediate answer is health and happiness.
There you go.
And those two kind of go hand in hand, right? So you can't, without good health, you can't have the happiness to the degree that you could. So yeah, health and happiness.
Health and happiness. Perfect. So if you resolve to live until you die, you're going to be healthy and you're going to be happy. I mean, there it is. That's the solution. So I just hope that, and again, every time we do this, it's looking at the mirror, talking to ourselves,
right? And
it's coming right back at me. And it's not like I don't have enough to do and whatever, but it's always great to be reminded to live and to go for it and to be in the moment and to pour your heart and soul and to grow and to improve my relationships and to sharpen my bucket list so that I can, because it was the ICW, now it's the Big Circle. And I'm doing it.
All right. I don't know why this just popped into my head, but it rhymes with bucket list. I think there's, and we've talked about this before, learn how to say no. And I think that's an important element of maximizing that health and happiness in your life is, we'll call it the fuck it list. You got to know just when to say fuck it. I ain't dealing with that. And because, that's going to suck the joy right out of what got going on here. I'm not going to be involved in it. Now, I understand that, there's going to be exceptions to that. So anybody that wants to argue that, I'm not going to argue with you because I know there's exceptions. As a general rule, you can have that mindset. You get to choose what you're going to involve yourself in and what you're not going to involve yourself in. And
Right.
when it's going to suck, don't do it.
Yep. There you go. There you go. So that was it. It was a good reminder for me, good reminder for you, and I believe a good reminder for our audience as well.
Yes, indeed.
And that's it. I think from my perspective, I think I've hit it, but I'm willing to keep talking about examples if you'd like. I'm ready to go.
Oh man, I'm ready to go down there and get some saltwater therapy.
Yes.
I think I need some of that.
Absolutely.
All right.
Well, this has been great. It's been wonderful. Thank you, Bryant, for making the time to do this while you're down there.
Well, you're certainly welcome, and I appreciate your flexibility.
You bet. Absolutely.
All right.
Enjoy the rest of your time down there.
There is no way that we'll get the sync right on this. We'll give it an effort, right? No matter who you are, where you are, what you're doing, make sure between this podcast and the next, you take time to
Enjoy the ride.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Graybeard Chronicles. Please subscribe so you'll receive notification when new episodes are available. To learn more about the Graybeards, visit their website, graybeardchronicles.com.